It's time for Bible Basics for a Life Fully Lived with Peter Sibilio. Good morning, Professor Pete.
Good morning, but I gotta say, this is just not fair. I mean, it is hard enough to follow Wendy Sheridan, but following Ron Finn when he's on such a roll like this morning, I'm telling you.
Hey, I live with it every day,
I'm
baby.
telling
Come
you,
on.
not only the what's this Shire sauce, but he had another one. He was like, did you know it was the anniversary of Wikipedia? But that might not be accurate. I mean, I'm citing my sources, but I won't
Good
later.
stuff.
I think one comedian said, darn it, I wish I said that. And another comedian leaned over and said, that's okay, I'm sure you will.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
But today, I mean, it's an embarrassment of riches. We're probably going to have to do this in, maybe over 2 weeks. I wanted to continue looking at the number 3 because last week we saw how tradition really counts and numbers the Magi as 3. And so I wanted to go back and just kind of stick with the threeness of it all and take a look at the 3 visitors who visit Abraham in Genesis 18. And so we read, looking up, Abraham, saw 3 men standing nearby. When he saw them, he ran from the entrance of the tent to greet them, and bowing to the ground, he said, Sir, if I may ask you this favor, please do not go on past your servant. Let some water be brought that you may bathe your feet, and then rest yourselves under the tree. Now that you have come this close to your servant, let me bring you a little food that you may refresh yourselves, and afterwards go on your way. And then, turning the page, he runs back to the tent, claps his hands, and says, Sarah, come on, get up. 3 shayas of our finest flour and this fine tender calf. Slave, prepare it. Here, let me get some cheese and curds and give these to our visitors. And then, you look back and say, well, you go past that. The rhetoric, though, of course, completely changes. He's so obsequious and wordy and gracious to the visitors, then to poor Sarah, clap, 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 let's go. Behind the scenes, because of this idea of hospitality, and it's obliged, and he's going above and beyond what is obliged. And so I did some lookup work, and I'm like, well, 3 shayas. If I go to the grocery store and I want to get shayas of flour, and so I look it up in the Hebrew dictionary, and it says 3 shayas equals 1 ephah. And
Oh, that's helpful.
yeah, and I'm thinking I don't think they have that at Kroger, but it turns out 3 shayas or 1 ephah equals 36 pounds of flour.
Whoa. Oh,
Okay. And now we've talked about bread a little bit on the afternoon show, and we bake every week. And, if you're doing 2 loaves, it's barely more than a pound of flour, and it takes 2 days.
Right.
Okay. And that's even with the modern yeast and everything like that. And so this is just an excessive, over the top 36 pounds of flour that you have to knead and proof and bake. And then, slave, go grab a young calf. Get me some steaks. I've never gone through the entire butchering process. But just the effort, the time, and then, of course, cheese and curd in that culture, right? You had, no pun intended with the culture, not quite up to Ron's level, had to be kept underground often just to give it some sort of cool area. So Abraham is going above and beyond what is required of him in terms of generosity, hospitality. He's going to an extreme. But then we remember what these 3 visitors say, that he and Sarah are going to have this miraculous birth. And this promise that God made is going to be fulfilled in ways they cannot imagine about his descendants, his descendancy. And that number 3 rings a bell. Of course, spiritually, we see the 3 visitors in time, perhaps as certainly representing the Trinity, but also every time we hear the number 3 in Genesis, something big is happening. Remember, Adam had 3 sons. Noah had 3 sons. Abraham is one of 3 sons. He has 3 visitors. And this whole plan of salvation that we traced in Matthew's genealogy is coming on through with these three visitors. And so there's this idea that no matter how much we try and give to God in God's plan, God always finds a way to give us more. God is always the most generous, but God always waits for us to be generous and even radically generous ourselves. That's when this plan of salvation is coming through.
Wow. I mean, so much there, but I'm stuck, honestly, on obsequious. I never heard of it before.
It's
I
a
looked
type
it
of
up.
it's a
I
type
love
of
it.
sauce.
Yeah, it's a type of sauce. Let's stay with it. I'm sorry, but let's stay with the three men for a minute, Professor Pete. Do we at least believe that that might be the Holy Trinity, or at least representations of that, right?
Absolutely. In time, we come to believe that. It's another one of those layers of Genesis. A lot of times, it's hard to distinguish the Lord from his messengers. For instance, the sacrifice of Isaac, or the near sacrifice of Isaac. The story starts out with the Lord, and then it becomes an angel. Same thing with Jacob and the wrestling match. And here it seems like the person, or the representation appearing as a man, seems to be the Lord, and the other two seem to be angels, at least on the first level of the story, because it's the angels who go on to Sodom and Gomorrah next, while the Lord remains with Abraham, in a sense, just to give Abraham the chance to be the intercessor. And so it's almost like God really knows what God is doing, past, present, future. And says salvation is coming through, and you get to be both father of nations and this idea of an intercessor for those who need intercession. So I'm going to stay back here with you, and you can intercede for others with me. And that's where, of course, we have the famous sort of, can we talk the Lord down from the ledge? How about 50? How about 30? How about 10?
Time to bargain.
That's coming up,
How about 5 and some Worcestershire sauce?
Yeah, there you go. I love it. Thank you,
36
Professor Pete.
pounds of flour.
3 more next week. 3
Yeah.
more next week, I
Can't
tell
wait.
you.
Can't wait.
I like this working in threes. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it is.
I like that. You've done it again, Professor Peter Sibilio, Bible teacher extraordinaire. And, of course, your questions for Bible basics are always welcome. You can send them right to Peter, or you can send them to feedback at annunciationradio.com, or drop them off in the mailbox.
I've done it again. That's just what my insurance agent said. Oh, boy.
You've done it again.
Thank you, Peter. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.